Hello there. Well, today I've got a bit of a different one, my friend. I'm on a beach camp. It's got a slight difference. I'm going to tell you where I'm going. We'll show you when I get there. For now, bye-bye now. What a glorious day. So nice. A bit chilly in the wind, but soon warm up when I start climbing. That might be a clue where I'm going. As usual, when I'm bimbling along, I like to have a chat about stuff related to hiking, but mainly backpacking, because that's what I mainly do nowadays. And last time I was out, I broached on the subject of map reading and navigation, and it's what I do. I really enjoy it. I think it's part of being outdoors. But as I'm going along, last time I think I mentioned I keep on the map, keep checking the map. And what I'm doing, checking the lay of the ground, certain points, etc. But what I'm mainly doing, and it's from my orienteering days, is collecting features, or ticking features as we tend to call this in the UK. So as you're going along, you can do one of two ways. You can look at your map first and say to yourself, right, when I get to this certain point, I'm going to see this. And that could be the edge of a wood, a lake, pond, whatever, a linear feature, like a wall or a fence. Or it could just be a change in the lay of the land, the contours and the shape of the land as you relate to them. So that's what I'm doing as I'm going along. I'm ticking off. Now today the navigation is really easy, but that won't stop me getting on the map and saying to myself, when I get around this corner here, I'm going to see that. So you can do it one of two ways, like I just said. You can either look at the map first and decide you're going to see those features when you get to a certain point, or you can get to those features that relate to the map. But I prefer to do it the first way around. Yeah, always checking the ground, knowing where you are. You never know what's going to go wrong. I don't want to be sort of like pessimistic, because I'm far from that sort of person, but it's worth doing. There you go, ticking or collecting features, essential. Bye now. So here we are, the highest beach in the UK. It's called Gaddings Dam, just above Tomberdom. I'll give you a bit of history on it later. Let me spin you around, show you. I'm not saying it's the biggest beach, but it's definitely the highest. Are you ready? I like this. There we go, Gaddings Dam. Hello there. So me all set up now. I found a cracking spot here. It's probably the flattest spot I've ever found ever in umpteen years, decades of camping. And I'm sat here, you might see the glare on my face, watching the sun go down over the dam. And like I said earlier, I'm at Gaddings Dam. It's not an outstanding beach. It's very popular, you know, during the summer. Lots of people come up here doing swimming and that, skinny dipping. Not for me. You know, we should do more of this in the UK. When I lived in Germany, I was out in Germany for a good 10-11 years, all up. And because they don't have much of a coast, what they tend to do is have dams and lakes, artificial lakes, and they build beaches on them, lovely forestry around them. Some you pay to get in, most are free. You know, it's a great feature. We should do it more in the UK. I know we've got lots of beaches, but for the internal people inland, not so easy getting to a beach, is it? It's lovely. So I'm just watching the sunset go down, just chilling a little bit, and loving life. This is what I do. Give you a look around in a minute. Yeah, so this is what I'd call the second beach. There's one beach over there, only a tiny thing, and there's one here. Obviously artificial, but lovely. Got a sunset there. Looking right into it. And the sun shall rise over there tomorrow morning. Over by Stoodley Pike. I don't know if you can see it in the distance, Stoodley Pike. Yeah. Well, the tent I'm in today, I tripped then. My tent is the Cloud Peak 2. Now I sold this very tent a couple of years ago. Maybe not be a couple, I think it might have been a couple of years ago, to a mate of mine. I got the Scarp and I thought, well, I don't need two tents of this sort of configuration, and got rid of it. You know something? I instantly regretted it. It's a fantastic tent. Pound for pound, everything into consideration, I would say it's one of the best tents out there. Obviously a clone of the Hilleberg, excuse me, the Hilleberg Solo and the Hilleberg Alec. But you know, I mean, look at that. I think it's about 180 quid now. I paid like 120 for that a couple of years ago. And unfortunately my old friend Steve Martin is having mobility issues at the moment with his hip. He can't get out. It's like the end of his camping days. Sorry to hear that, mate. And so I bought it back off him, and I'm so glad I did. It's absolutely outstanding freestanding tent. If you want to start a tent, or start camping rather, and you want a tent, this is the one. Lanshan 2 and Cloud Peak 2. Two of the best tents in the world, pound for pound, bar none. Is it as good as the Alec and the Solo? Of course it's not. Could it hack higher winds? I've had it out in monstrous winds and it hacked it. But I wanted to take it very high in the winter. Morning. Oh, slept like a log last night. Absolutely superb. So what I'm going to do now is pack up and make sure I'm out of the way before all the tourists start going up to the dam for a look round with the dogs, etc. And back home. I'm not really one of these that's top secret with my locations where I go camping. Got to the point because people can easily work it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a map up here somewhere, or do a screen, and with the location, and we're going to put the grid reference on for you, because this is probably the flattest campsite I've ever been on. It's like a pancake, it's superb. So, I'm going to get packed up in a minute, and that's me, for now. I'll have a chat on the way back down. Bye now. That's me all packed up. Gonna head back down to the car now. It's only a short walk. I tend to be more of a camper nowadays than a backpacker. Probably because I'm getting old. When I'm packing my pack, you know, I like to try and get everything in inside the pack because it looks neater, and you know, it's better if you're scrambling and going through trees, etc. And it just looks more professional, I think. Not that you need to be professional with this game, but I like to get everything inside. The only exception I make to that is I have my tent on the top. Now, on the last morning I never packed properly, just rammed it all in my pack, and it sits on the top very neatly. Should I show you? Can you see it there? It sits underneath the lid, and it's neat, and it's not going to fall out. It's strapped in. Yeah, and the reason to do that mainly, if I'm out for a few days, I've got the tent there, bang, straight at hand, and I'm off. Poles on the side, pack up, tent up, where you go. Bye now. I said I was going to have a chat about the dam, didn't I? I did a bit of googling. I'm no expert on the area or the subject, so I got it off Google. Google genius, as I call them. So I'm not going to be a Chris JB, he's the expert on local knowledge and things like that. But a bit of Google, and it was built in 1833. It's not originally a reservoir as such. It's literally a dam to collect water, and that would be fed down to the mills below. I think it was used to power the wheels, you know, the water wheel things in the mills. So there's the knowledge. Thank you, Google. You know something, we've got people swimming this morning. Now, I'm really good with the cold. It's kind of a second nature thing. Swimming. Jesus. They're brave, aren't they? I'll show you when I get a bit closer, but I don't want to be perving and get beaten up. So, yeah, see you in a minute. So looking at the construction of it, it's compacted earth with big stones and rocks on the front there. But it's built very similar to the Great Wall of China, you know, compacted earth. It's been here a long time. Nice, isn't it? Get yourself up here, people. You'll thank me. Yeah, you know, the media at the moment is full of the Queen's death. But I just want to say a few things about the relationship between the Queen and the military, which I was part of for a long time in my life. You know, we swear an oath of allegiance, and I would say 99.9% was really mean that oath. And as my friend Tony Slaney said, he swore an oath to two women that he meant with all his heart, and that was the Queen and his wife. And that's, you know, that really sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? And that's the way we see it. So God bless you, Mum. And I'm sure your sons are going to do a cracking job. And God save the King. A bloke just ran past me with nothing on but a towel. That's keen, isn't it? Back at the car now. I'm actually parked across a little lay-by from the Shepherd's Rest Inn. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lot of details up somewhere in the video, showing you where I parked and where I camped, because I'm like that. So, until the next video, as per normal, I have no idea where that's coming from. Quite like it here. But I won't come back. Not for a while anyway. So, until then, my friend, bye now.